Hello and welcome to the Them Frames YouTube channel. I'm Dan, and in this video, I'm looking at the question, Photoshop street photography, is that okay? So this question was posed by a photographer over on Threads who I must commend him because he was very open about his recent editing process for one of his images. The image is of a woman, it's kind of a candid portrait. I'll show it up on screen so you can see it. And originally in the background were some lampposts that looked as if they were kind of coming out of the edge of the woman's face. Now, the photographer felt this was a distraction, took away from the power of the subject, so he decided to remove them in Photoshop. Which made him ask the question, is the use of Photoshop okay in street photography? Now, there tends to be a few camps in this, and it can be quite a polarizing topic in the street photography community. There are some who class themselves as purists who say that an image should be presented as it was shot, so that means it comes straight out of camera with no editing and is published in that format. Other ones are more moderate, and they say some light edits are okay, so that may be some adjustments to contrast, exposure, color, sharpness, clarity, that kind of thing. And then there are the trailblazers, the go-getters who, don't mind using heavy editing skills to present a final image, whether that's meshing two street photographs together, completely removing things, sometimes adding things. They want the full creative license to present the image in how they view it. Now, I'm kind of in the center of all of this. I think it's okay to edit street photography. I think it's fine to correct color, correct exposure, and kind of just give it some more power with some edits in Lightroom, for example. But I'm also someone who believes there should be no limitations in the work that we create. As long as ethically no one is harmed and we're not standing on someone to elevate ourselves, I think we shouldn't put people in boxes on what they can and can't do to develop and present an image in how they wish to do it. But does it still remain street photography if it's photoshopped? For me, no, because in my opinion, the foundations of street photography are the representation of society, of reality. And the fact is, society, reality, the things that happens on the street, they're not perfect. There are often times you may think, I wish that wasn't in the background, or that wasn't in the foreground, or left and right. And unfortunately, that's just something we have to be at peace with as street photographers. Now, if we do start removing things or heavily photoshopping an image, maybe it can be street style, street inspired, but not street photography. I recently had an image that was exhibited in the Leica Gallery in Vienna, and I'm very proud of that image, but in actual fact, there are things I wish I could change. I'll bring the image up, you can see that to the left of the subject, there's a little pocket of light that kind of takes away from the strength of the image. Obviously, what I've tried to do here is the contrast of shadows and light and really give some pop, especially with the vibrancy of the subject, give some pop to them. And I feel that little pocket of light slightly distracts from it. And in a perfect world, that wouldn't be there. But I won't Photoshop it because I just have to be happy with the fact that that's how it goes sometimes. The perfect image seldom exists, if ever. And I think it's better to be at peace with the imperfections that come with street photography rather than start manipulating kind of images and presenting them. But if you are someone who uses Photoshop, again, I'm not going to say you shouldn't be doing this. I'm not going to say you're not a street photographer. I'm not going to say you're in any way inferior to those who are just presenting more authentic images. But I do believe you ethically have a duty of care to be honest. Say, hey, this image isn't reality of what the scene actually was. I've used Photoshop and I've removed some things to present something better, in my opinion. Condense it a bit more than that, but you get the drift of what I'm saying here. And I think this is especially important now more than ever when we're entering a wave of AI imagery. I recently published an article over on themframes.com. I will leave a link to that down in the description. And it was talking about the Met Gala and all these images that had surfaced online, which people thought were true or authentic, but in actual fact were AI. And I think to protect the integrity of truth within photography, all of us have to be honest, even if we're honest about the light edits we do. I think it's crucial that we are as transparent as possible and we don't try and fool our audience into believing something is reality when in actual fact it's mainly manifested from our imagination. But that's just my short take on it. I'm actually interested to know, what do you think? Photoshopping street photography, is that something you're comfortable with? Is it something that you do yourself? Let me know in the comments and I can gather some of your opinions. Also, please do me a favor, and if you liked this video, hit a like. It's that simple, really. And do subscribe and tap the bell icon so YouTube cuts you a solid and notifies you when I next publish. I appreciate you for taking the time to listen to me today. I'm Dan, this is Them Frames. Until the next one, see ya.